Okay, now let's go for the first experiment, which is push and pull hydraulic lift using a string. So, what we need to prepare is the hydraulic lift, about 2 string, which is string A and also string B, and then the tube, and the last one is the red color of water. Okay, so the first step is fill in the first string, which is the string A, with a red color of water. Yes, we fill it with the red color of water, and then take the tube and put it at the tip of the string. Okay, so it becomes like this, and apply the pressure from the first string A, by using a thumbs. Okay, and make sure the fluid is flow through the confined tube like this, and also make sure the pressure will be transmitted to the second string. And the last step, you can see then the force will be applied at the tip of the second string, and the object of the hydraulic toy will be lifted. So, what is the sign concept that you can find here? Yes, you can find the Pascal principle. What is Pascal principle? Pascal principle is the pressure applied on an enclosed fluid is transmitted uniformly in all directions in the fluid. When the piston is pushed, a force is exerted on the surface of the water and pressure is produced. This pressure is transmitted uniformly through the water in all directions. The pressure is transmitted in every part of the water equally. So, based on this situation, okay, we go at the beginning, right? For the first situation, the first string, which is at the string A, is represented as a pump, okay, and the second string, which is string B, act as an actuator. When we push the plunger of the string A like this, it will pressurize the liquid inside the confined tube. As the liquid pressure acts equally in all directions, it causes the water to flow out of the bottom into the tube and move toward the string B. Hence, the object or load on the piston of the string B will lift it upward.
Okay, now we move for the next experiment, which is playing hydraulic lift with load and balloon. So, what the things that we need to prepare? Okay, the first is hydraulic lift, the string, the tube, the load, and also the balloon. Okay, the first step is you must to make sure the hydraulic lift is in already upward position, and take note the distance of hydraulic lift during upwards. Second, the next step is put the balloon between the hydraulic lift arms under the box space. And then the third step is put any load like a small bolt on the box space provided. Then the last step is observe the shape of the balloon when the load goes downwards and the distance of hydraulic lift in upwards position during at the first step. So, as you can see here, what is the science concept that can be applied? The science concept that we use here is force. A force can change the state of motion of an object. Hence, it has the same effect to this situation, where when the force of loads from the upside are pushing the balloons downwards, the pressure will be produced. Therefore, the shapes of the balloons will be changed due to the compression from the force exerted on it. Plus, the shapes of the balloons will totally change as the increasing of force used makes the pressure produced also increase. Okay, now we go for the third experiment, which is place the load above the hydraulic lift. What we need to prepare is hydraulic lift, the string, the tube, and also the two objects that have the different weight. So this is considered as a lightweight object. And then second, this is considered as a heavyweight object. The first step is we need to put a light small object as a load on the stage of the hydraulic lift. Second, we need to push the string like this. And the third step, we need to observe the result movement of the hydraulic lift. Next, for the fourth step is we put a heavy bigger object as a load on the stage of the hydraulic lift. And then the fifth step is we need to push the string. And the last step, okay, I already pushed the string. And the last step is we need to observe the result movement of the hydraulic lift. So based on this situation, what is the science concept that we can found in this experiment? Okay, the science concept that we can found is about lever. Yes, lever is one of the simple machine is very useful for transferring the force. A lever has 3 points which are effort, load, and also fulcrum that distinguishes the type of the class lever. For an example, we have the 3 class lever, which is the first class lever. The fulcrum is located between the load and the effort. The second class lever is the load is located between the effort and the fulcrum. And the third class lever is the effort is located between the load and the fulcrum. So for the hydraulic lift, it applies a first class lever because the fulcrum which is the connection, here is the fulcrum which is the connection between the arms is located between the load and also the load in the as an object, and also the effort which is a force that act on the string. Based on this situation, the hypothesis for this part is the more the weight of the object, the more force of effort will act to lift the object. So from the based from the observation, when the string is pushed, okay, when the string is pushed, it shows that the force is act for the effort to lift the lighter load. This describes how the first class lever works. Okay, so at the beginning, okay, we start at the beginning. So when we at the beginning, when the string is at rest, okay, when the string is at rest, which means there is no force act on it, the stage which have the lighter load is also at rest, which means it does not lift. This is imbalance because the distance from the effort to the fulcrum is equal to the distance from the load to the fulcrum. Then after the string was pushed, okay, the effort plays its role, which is apply the input force, while the load is apply the output force in order to lift the load. Here the input force from the effort is the amount of effort used to push on the string in order to move the lift load weight. Meanwhile, when the heavy object, okay, we go for the heavy object. When the heavy object, which acts as a load, is placed on the stage, that load does not lift up even there is the effort with more force act by the shrink. Okay, I already pushed the shrink, but the load does not lift up. This is because the fulcrum of the hydraulic lift cannot change its position. In the concept of the first class level, in order to lift the heavy object, the fulcrum needs to move closer to the heavy end so that the heavy object can lift up when the effort force acts on the shrink at the opposite end. So by moving the lever fulcrum point, which is here, point closer to the object, they are trying to change how much force which is work is took to lift the object. This means by moving the fulcrum closer to object, we made it much easier to lift a heavy object.
Let us do an experiment on how to play magic sand with water. So this is the materials that you need: a bottle of water, magic sand, a glass, and also a spoon. So the first step is you need to pour the water into a glass until it becomes 3/4 full. Like this. Then you need to pour the magic sand slowly by using a spoon into the glass. Scoop magic sand like this and pour it slowly into the glass. Scoop again. You need to observe the condition of the magic sand. So you can see clumps will form at the bottom of the glass. The next step is you need to scoop the magic sand in the glass containing water with a spoon. So as you can see, the magic sand does not wet at all. Take the other clump and see. You also can touch the magic sand with bare hand. So here you can feel that the magic sand does not wet at all. So place magic sand in the water is a great demonstration to show that water is a polar molecule and hence it repels when mixed with other hydrophobic substances. The end. Okay, so the next way to play the magic sand is by using all of these materials. You need a piece of A4 paper, magic sand, glue, a rubber band, a coin, pen and also a ruler. So, the first step is you need to get an A4 paper and fold it in half vertically, like this. Okay? And then you need to draw a starting line 4 cm from the bottom of the paper using a pen and also a ruler. So here is 4 cm. And you draw a straight line like this. Next step is you need to apply a straight line of glue on the paper enough for the coin to travel across. The next step is you need to pour the sand on the area with glue. Like this. Next, you need to dust off the excess, then wait until it dries. So, it has been dried, and next, we take this rubber band and also this coin. You need to put your index and thumb through the opposite ends of the rubber band and position them on the line drawn like this. Okay. And then you need to put the coin in the middle of the rubber band and pull it backwards until it's behind the starting line. And then you release the coin and watch it catapult across the sand. Next, you mark the distance traveled by the coin. Like this. So, through this game, you can see the concept of friction. When this coin is catapult across the sanded paper, the interactions between the sand and the coin surfaces rub against each other.
Here is the demonstration on how to play magic sand by making shapes using magic sand and oil. Firstly, you need a cup of normal sand, 2 different colors of magic sand, 3 different sand shapes, 3 container lids, a cup of water, and a cup of oil. Now, let's begin the experiment. First of all, you need to put the normal sand into shape A. After that, you put the magic sand into shape B and also shape C, like this. Next, by using a dropper, put few drops of water on the surface of shape A and shape B. Put few drops of oil on the surface of shape C. In addition, mix them thoroughly. Like this. The results labeled as A, B, and C. After a few seconds, let's take out sand shapes and see the results for shape A and then shape B and also shape C. As you can see, shape C maintains the shape as here it explains the concept of chemical bond, which is the connection between the magic sand and also oil molecules. And last but not least, in order to test the stability of the different type of sands, put a few drops of water onto both normal sand and also magic sand. See the amazing results!